Yo, what's good, YouTube? We're back with another My Team video, man. I'm back at y'all with some more tips and tricks. Now, I've been kind of holding out this video for a little bit, but I think it's about time for me to, kind of get into how to win more unlimited games. I might end up making this a series depending on how well this video does. Or regardless, I just wanted to show y'all my record because if you're new to my channel or anything like that, you may not really, take my word for it. But as you can see, I did complete the showdown tier. I do have Gary Payton, and I mean my win percentage is pretty solid. There's been a couple of lag outs. I've quit out of a couple games just because I didn't really care, but for the most part I do win a majority of my games. So just to kind of prove to y'all that I do, I want to validate that what I'm saying has at least somewhat, it matters at least somewhat what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. But before we get into anything, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe if it does help you out. And let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, before I show y'all anything in the defensive settings, one of the most important things is badges. And more specifically, what I mean by that is this badge right here, that interceptor badge. Interceptor is pretty much the most overpowered badge. The passing lane steals in this game are absolutely ridiculous, and you absolutely need to make sure that a majority, if not all of your players, have this interceptor badge. Now, this is not really my team. I did sell off a lot of my players just because I'm recording this right before the new season comes out tomorrow. Actually, it won't be for tomorrow for y'all, but just to show y'all what I mean, make sure y'all apply interceptor. If the player can get interceptor, make sure you apply to him as well. This ball stripper badge is also really good. I don't have any in my collection, but ball stripper is also really good for getting stops in the paint. And just to kind of reiterate, Mikal Bridges has Hall of Fame interceptor. Just know all of these players in this lineup have interceptor at least on gold. You don't have to have it on gold, but at least have the badge on. I can say that. Now, what we're about to get into next is my defensive settings, and this is something that is extremely important when you're playing my team. Offensively, I mean, let me say it like this: because of the patch lately, offense is going to be hard, but if you can get stops on defense, I promise you majority of the time you're going to win games if you get stops. So let's go ahead and hop over into a game against the CPU so I can kind of show y'all what I mean about my defensive settings. Okay, so I have loaded up into a rookie dom game just against the CPU just so I can show y'all what exactly y'all want to do when you're implementing your defensive settings. Now, majority of the time, this team focus thing is gonna be on automatic. You don't want it to be on automatic. Automatic is absolutely gonna screw you. I promise, just don't put it on automatic. Whatever you do, don't put it on automatic. There are some like default settings. I don't really use them. I like to kind of change them to my liking. So let's go ahead and just get into it and break down what each of these defensive settings mean. So if we go over here to this on-ball pressure, what you want to do on on-ball pressure is either set it to smother or tight. It's really dependent on what you want to do. I personally put it on smother just so that I can get super in their grill, get a lot of bumps, get a lot of bump steals, things like that. I play an aggressive style of defense, but you can also get away with putting it on tight just so that you can get closer to your defenders, get closer to the person with the ball in their hands. You just want to avoid not putting on either one of these, but I personally go with smother. Now, the same thing can be said for off-ball pressure. You could put it on deny. I mainly put it on tight just so that people don't backdoor cut me, especially like on current gen or anything like that. But with this deny ball, they're gonna get like super close to the player, and I promise you'll get a lot of passing lane steals simply off of that, just because your players have that interceptor badge. Like I said, interceptor is a very important badge. If you combine this off-ball pressure, tight, or deny with interceptor, you will get your CPU will literally get steals for you sometimes in the passing lanes. Now, this force direction does not matter. I've seen a couple people do this thing, but I personally don't touch it. So again, this is my defensive setting, so I do not touch it. Now, the thing with on the ball screen, you want to put this on go over. This is just me personally, just so that I don't give up threes. It is easier for people to drive to the paint, but we will make other defensive settings and things like that to make sure that it's not as easy for them to drive to the paint. But you want to put it on go over so that people can't 3-hunt and things like that. Now again, with the new patch and everything like that, it may be a lot harder to do it, but at least what I found to be the most comfortable is putting this on go over. One of the things that this is up to you totally preference wise. You do want to have a hedge option on hedge and hedge center. You can put it on no hedge. I've seen people do that. I've seen people want to put on soft hedge. I've seen hard hedge. I've seen catch hedge. You don't want to put it on double. Just don't put anything on double. Me personally, I go with soft hedge. Soft hedge kind of gets them to step out, but they're going to, not necessarily go too crazy on it. Now, if you want to get more aggressive, you can put hard hedge or catch hedge. Those kind of help you a little bit more to stop the 3-ball. But again, for me personally, I put it on soft hedge just to help, in the pick and roll game, because I know people are going to spam it, especially now. Now, the next thing we want to hop into is to stay attached. You want to put stay attached. If you're on next gen, you want to put stay attached to yes. This is so that your players don't always switch. You do not want your players to switch. This is going to absolutely change how you play defense. You do not, and I repeat, do not want to put it on stay attached no if you're playing next gen. If you're playing current gen, this really doesn't matter as much. You can just leave it on automatic, but if you're playing on next gen, they do switch on the pick and roll, so you want to put stay attached to yes. Now, another thing is, I don't touch off ball screen. This really doesn't matter to me. You can put it, if I had a recommendation, I would say put it on switch, but you don't have to do anything. Me personally, I don't. But this is also another big thing. You want to put this post on front. This means that your post defender will stay in front of the offensive post player, forcing the pass over the top, as you can see what it says in the description. This basically means the entry pass to the post, the entry pass to the paint is going to be a lot more difficult. You'll get a lot more steals. Again, I play aggressive style of defense, so I want more steals. I want to get more quits quicker so that I can get through my unlimited games, put more pressure on my opponent. So that is something that I do, but you personally don't have to touch it if you don't want to. That's just something that I do. I don't touch double team post and double team perimeter. That doesn't matter. Switch rules, off ball doesn't matter. Pre-rotate really doesn't matter. Now, this is another really important thing when it comes to defensive settings. The screen help and drive help rules. You want to put this on no help. Otherwise, your AI is going to be stupid and go down to the paint and help always when somebody drives, when somebody pump fakes, when somebody does a pass fake, anything like that. Now, it's not foolproof, it's not perfect. Sometimes your AI is just gonna happen. I mean, you're just gonna have to deal with it. That's just what comes with the game. But in order to prevent it from happening a majority of the time, you do want to set these to no help. This is an absolute must. You have to put it on no help. Now, another thing is you can put this extend pressure on. I forget what setting actually turns this to automatic. I forget, but if you do, you can put this extend pressure on. This does help for pressuring the player full court. So if you don't necessarily want to get a press, but you do want to play kind of like a press, but you don't want to call a press, you can put this extend pressure on each player to yes. Now, mainly you want to put this on the players that are bringing the ball up the court. You don't really want to put this on a center. You do want to put this on guards and like wings that bring the ball to the court, just to help, speed up the game, help your defense, just have that much more aggressive style of defense. Now, another very important thing that y'all want to do when it comes to defensive settings, make sure this adaptive coaching engine under coach settings right here, make sure you set this to off, because if you turn it on, I promise you the CPU will just absolutely mess with your settings, and you don't want that to happen. You want to have your settings stay every time. I promise you, make sure to turn this off. And now the last thing that y'all want to do when it comes to defensive settings as well, I don't necessarily know if this does anything, but just for my liking, just for my mental sanity, I personally put my help defense on 0. I put this slider on 0. I don't necessarily know if this has any effect on the help defense, but just so that I can know that I did everything possible in the defensive settings to, you know, prevent my players from helping when I don't want them to help, I do put this setting on 0. Now, to just go over it one more time, I will slowly scroll through my defensive settings just so that you can see it. You know, you can pause the video here if you need anything, all that good stuff, just so that you can see my defensive settings. Now, I do hope that this video did come to help you guys. This is going to be the end of the video, but if the video did help you in any way, shape, or form, the defensive settings, you know, help you at all, please make sure to comment down below, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. It definitely does help this channel out for your boy. Other than that though, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, and hopefully I will see you guys back on my channel real soon. Other than that, I will see y'all in the next video. We'll catch up. Peace.